Hi everybody, good Friday morning. How you guys doing? Good to see you, good to see you. Could you guys see me testing my audio by snapping right before that intro started? If you did, you got a little sneak peek behind the curtain. It's good to see you all. Happy end of the first week of our daily creative challenge here for Photoshop. Hi to the Fox dude. What's up, Gildas? Hello, Mia. Hello, Darius. Good to see you. If you've made it this far through the challenge and you already have all of your challenges from the beginning of this week done, that's amazing. If you're still catching up, no worries. I see a lot of people posting on Discord saying like, sorry, this is late, but we're just happy that you're posting and participating. No worries about being late. What's up, Mohammed, Ted, Austin? Oh, you couldn't see me testing my audio? Phew. Well, I told you about the sneak peek anyways. So before we get started, I'm Kathleen. I've been your host for this first week of the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, and I am your host for next week as well. Very excited to see you all. So I will be back here on Monday. No streams over the weekend, although we do have user live streaming happening all the time on Behance. So there will be streams, just not from me, you know? Alrighty, so if you're new to the Daily Creative Challenge, let's get this switched over here. You can still register on the landing page. Super easy, just go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. Right there. And you will land here. You can click here to register. Is that an Asian baseball shirt? Yeah, Darius, I got this in Japan from a thrift store. It's one of my favoritist items. What's up, Susan? Thanks, Robin. You can scroll down and see what we're going to be working on today. Every day one of these challenges is unlocked. So today we're going to be using adjustment layers to add some Technicolor effects to some imagery to build another postcard. Like we did yesterday, we built a monogram postcard checking in with our loved ones, or we could post it on social media. Today we're going to make another one in the series, but just using some different techniques. So speaking of techniques, you can click Get Started and you can download the starter file that I'm going to be using. And just a reminder, these challenges are totally beginner friendly. You can just follow along exactly to what I do for this challenge. Or you can use your own imagery and just use the similar workflow. Just use some adjustment layers and make something that's totally different. I actually highly recommend that you try that and stretch your wings a little bit. See what you can do. I think you will be impressed by yourself, or at least you will definitely learn something. Mia says, I got a baseball shirt in Tokyo too. Oh my gosh, amazing. Love it. I was searching for a baseball tee the whole time I was there, and then on like the second to the last day, I found this bad boy. So cool. Mary, hello. How you doing? Quardis, good to see you too. All right, so before we jump into the actual challenge, let me introduce you to Discord. If you do not know it, Discord is our online community that is open 24/7. So when the live stream ends, the party keeps going on Discord all day, every day. It has been amazing to see all of your challenges getting posted there for feedback. So if you want to join us, bit.ly/psdiscord. That is the link. It is free. You can do it on your browser or on your phone or on your in your applications. And this is what it looks like. So we have tons of submissions coming in here. One from Zishan for the monogram postcard. Beautiful patterning in the background. It's like that parquet or herringbone floor. Very cool. We got Bianca posting the day 2 mood board. Love that. A nice AC. Very cool. So if you post your work here, you should get some feedback, and then you can post it on Behance. Very cool. And don't forget that you can give each other feedback. I would really appreciate it if you guys could jump in there and look at each other's pieces, give some helpful feedback or just encouragement to people. Valdair is doing an awesome job of mentoring. Sam is too, but we could use your help as well. All right, let's jump into Photoshop and get this party started. My dog's sleeping next to me and he just let out a big yawn. Capital B, capital Y. Claire Louise, hello. All right, into Photoshop. So here is the starter file that I provided for download. And like I said, we are going to be using some adjustment layers to create kind of a Technicolor, surreal, like topographic map vibe for this postcard. So we're going to land on something like this. Ooh, wish you were here. I think like the map and the pin in the map is a very classic visual. So how can we level that up, modernize it, make it our own a little bit? I decided let's just go crazy with the colors and really get our point across. Yeah, Sam, big yawn. Mia says the thrift stores are amazing in Japan. You know what, Mia? I agree. I like the smaller thrift stores. The bigger, like, really curated vintage stores, it was all European or Western clothing, which is not what I was looking for. I wanted the Japanese stuff. So I was really glad to find this. Darius, yes, we can certainly do that. Alyssa, thank you for doing these. You're a good teacher, short and to the point, but so informative. Thank you. That is the goal. Sometimes it feels too short, but I'm confident in y'all that you can take these short lessons and just do something totally leveled up with it. Anas, hello. Good to see you. All right, let me jump this into my tab. I've been having this bug recently. This is a little like relatable moment where when I have multiple files in my tab and I go between them, nothing changes. So if you have that problem as well, the workaround at the moment is to just pull it out and have it be a floating window. And if you didn't know you could do this in Photoshop, there you go. There's also a bunch of different views you can set up. Let's see, is it arrange? Yeah, so if we go to window, arrange, we could look at both of our files vertically, although with this bug, maybe we're not going to be able to. Let's put it back into tabs. Oh no, Photoshop. Might have to close it. Oh, there we go. It was just thinking. It's a Friday, had a long week. What's up, Sig? Am I here yet? Behance made me halfway sign in again and then took me to my profile. Oh no, we're just getting started. Don't worry. All right, Alyssa, that's a great point. My images have Adobe stock across them, and I just got a YouTube comment about this yesterday. So the reason that you have a watermark is because they're unlicensed stock images. If you want to license the high-res version, all you have to do is go to stock.adobe.com, put in the little number that's in the bottom right corner, or this number right here, to search it, and you can license it. It's not free because the people that upload these images to stock want to get paid for their licenses. But that's why I always encourage you guys to use your own images. You can just snap a quick pic with your phone of anything, make your own library of reference imagery, or you could use sites like Unsplash or any other image that you have a license to use. Okay, let's jump into some adjustment layers. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change this background to have a gradient on top of everything. We're going to go from pink to orange, or at least that's what I'm going to do. So you guys are free to choose another color palette, but that is one that I really like. So the way that we open our adjustment layers is, we touched on this, I think 2 days ago. It's this little icon right here. We're going to open it, and you can choose an adjustment layer like adjusting the levels, for example. If I click that, you'll see it makes a new levels layer. It's an adjustment layer because we are adjusting the image, and we can change the properties here. Now notice that this adjustment layer affects everything below it in the layer stack, but not anything above it. So the blue push pin didn't change at all. But if I click and drag it above, now it affects everything except for the text. So I'm just going to delete that layer by hitting the delete key. We're going to click on our background again because we want to make the adjustment layer right above the background. And I'm just going to choose gradient. So it's funny, actually, these options at the top, the solid color, gradient, and pattern, these are fill layers. So it's going to affect the entire canvas. So I'm going to choose gradient, and you'll see a live preview of how it looks. That's actually not bad. That's kind of cool. It's Sig's birthday. Happy birthday. Thanks for being here. Everybody ready to sing? I'm not. Too early. All right, let's choose this one. Looks good. Like I said, you get a live preview, and then in this gradient fill options window, you can change the angle if you like to. I like a good up and down gradient. I'll even just hit 90 in there. Oops. So I accidentally hit enter to commit my changes, and I wasn't done editing. So all you have to do is double click on this color chip right here. and it will open it back up. You can increase the scale, reverse it. I kind of like the orange on top. But we're just gonna click OK. And we can even change the blend mode of gradient or fill layers and adjustment layers. So let's jump into our fills or our blend modes. And I'm gonna look through a couple of these. I like that. I like color dodge. Although I don't really like what it's doing up here. That feels a little hard to look at. So let's turn the opacity of our fill layer down. Again, I am just clicking and scrubbing on the word opacity to increase or decrease, but you can also open up this slider and just grab the arrow yourself. So I think about in the 70s looks good. Cool. Is it possible to change the orange lines in the adjustment layer? You could edit the color of this base image, totally. We could do a color balance layer and maybe put everything towards green. So we're kind of changing the orange a little bit there. You can play with the highlights as well. So yeah, feel free to play. The way that I would change the color of the orange lines is I would actually do a select color range, and then I would just click on this area just to select the orange. That selects it, and then we could do like a fill layer to change the color. Quick tip, but I'll cancel that because I like the orange. All right, we're turning this back on. So that's our first adjustment or fill layer. Now let's address this pin. And if you recognize this texture, I used the same texture from yesterday just to create a little bit of like textural cohesion through our multiple designs. Yeah, no problem, Darius. Hope that helps. So this texture is set to divide so we can see kind of the highs and lows, the highlights and the shadows, but it's not too distracting otherwise. Okay, let's address the pin. We'll turn it back on. First thing I want to do is get rid of this white background. The way that people kind of quickly get rid of a white background via blend modes is to just change it to multiply, because that will take away all of the light layer or all of the light pixels. But then the pin becomes transparent and you can see the lines through it. That might not be a bad thing. Maybe you like that, but let's actually get rid of the white. Super duper easy way to do this is to go to your quick selection tool. You can go to this tool set by just tapping W on your keyboard and it will select it over here. I'm going to long press on it, so I'm going to click and hold down my mouse button, and I'm going to go to Object Selection Tool. Okay, now up here in the control bar we can change the mode of our selection, so I'm just going to do rectangle, because we are selecting a pretty simple shape, but if you wanted to select something a little more organic, you can use lasso as well. You can change the different options for your selection, so sample all of the layers, enhance edge, object subtract. Let's do enhance edge, and I'm just going to draw a marquee around my pen. Now see right at the top here, I got a little bit close to the edge or the top edge of the pen. It's really easy to move around your selection by holding down the space bar while you're still selecting, and you can move the source. So I'm just holding down space while still holding down on my keyboard. I'm releasing space, and I'm going to release my mouse. And there you go. Photoshop pretty much did it for me. That's a really nice selection. It selected a little bit down here, or it didn't select a little bit down there, so I could try it again and see if that helps. And it didn't. That's all right. We can go to our quick selection tool, make sure that this addition selection is chosen so that we can add to the selection we already have. And I am just going to click right there to complete our selection. Cool. So let's get rid of the white. That's the whole reason we did this. All you need to do is come down here to your layers panel and click this layer mask button. This is what it looks like. little square with a circle inside. Click that, and that's going to keep what you have selected and get rid of everything else. But it's not gone forever. Look over here. We just have the illustration of the mask here. So white is what is revealed and black is what is hidden. And if I were to disable this mask, we would get the white background back. All right, so our pen is there. Let's add a gradient map to this pen. So instead of just adding a flat gradient across the pen, the gradient map is going to take into account the highlights and the shadows and apply a gradient to that. So we're going to go to our adjustment layers, come down here to gradient map, click that, and then in our properties, we will be able to choose our gradient. So I'm just going to click this gradient bar, not going to click the drop down, I'm just going to click the gradient itself, and that's going to give me the opportunity to edit it. So I like this one, I like the yellow and the pink, but I don't like all of these in-between colors right above my head. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna click and drag these little color points off of the gradient. There we go. Maybe I'll move the pink over a bit. Okay. So since this gradient map is on top of all of our layers, it's affecting everything underneath it, but we only want it to affect the pen. So do you guys have any ideas how we can get it to only affect the pen? How we can basically link it to the push pen? I think I'm gonna try a clipping mask. So we just made a layer mask to get rid of that white background. A clipping mask basically takes the layer on top and clips it to the pixels of the layer below. So the pixels of the layer below is just this pen since we masked out the white. Yes, Robin, clipping mask, you got it. And a really easy way to make a clipping mask is to right click on your layer and click Create Clipping Mask. Okay, now our gradient is only affecting our pen. If I get rid of the clipping mask, now you can see it's affecting everything. My favorite way to make a clipping mask is to hold Option or Alt if you're on a PC, hover between the two layers and click. And there you go. We've got our clipping mask. I'm gonna move this text group down here a little bit so we get some of that gradient going on with those shapes in the background. Feel free to change the text or the type to whatever kind of phrase you want. If you want to use field work like I did, feel free to, but you can play around and see what you like. I'm going to stick with field work. You can change the color by just selecting one of these rectangle layers. In the properties panel, you can click this fill color swatch and change the colors as you want. But I'm going to undo that by doing Command Z. Whoops. And there we go. Okay, so we have our cool Technicolor postcard. It is the same template as it was yesterday. It is 4 inches across and 6 vertically. So I think those are going to look nice together on Behance next to each other. Can we see the dog? Says Monica. He's sleeping. He looks really cute. He's sleeping with his head on his paws. If you want to see the dog, Monica, you can follow him on Instagram. He's one of those dogs. He begged me to get an Instagram and I said, okay. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna get this exported and uploaded onto Discord so we can get some feedback from y'all and then upload it onto Behance. Actually, one final little detail that I added to make this look a little more realistic, even though it's obviously not realistic, is I added a little shadow underneath this pen. I'll show you quickly how I did that. So underneath the pen layer, I made a new layer. I used my brush tool. So I just tapped B on my keyboard or clicked over here. And then I selected a soft brush. Soft means that the hardness is turned down so the edges are going to feel feathered. And then I grabbed these little handles and I made it like an oval. I made sure that my opacity was turned down. I grabbed kind of like a darky orangey And I clicked once kind of to the left, a little bit kind of to the right, decrease the size of my brush. You can also increase or decrease the size of your brush by tapping the bracket keys. And there we go. So we've got a little bit of a shadow. I changed the blend mode to multiply, and it looks a little more realistic. Big quotes there. Sorry, I thought a mod might post the Instagram. Let me post it for you really quick, since you're all dying to know. Let's see, what is his handle? Oh yeah. My dog's on Insta too? Nice! They can be Instagram friends. There we go, posting it in chat right now. Nice. Okay, so let's export this and get it uploaded on Discord for y'all to give me feedback on. We're going to go to export, export as. Oh, nice, Sam. Yes. Now you know his secret Instagram cameo. Love all the unplanned tips we got in today's challenge. Good, Robin. I'm glad. It was full of kind of those hot tips. All right, width 1200 by 1800. Cool. Let's export it. We'll go to day 4, Technicolor, and I'll say, whoa, or Discord, day 4. I'm betting that I'm gonna have to make some edits. I don't really love how flat it's looking. I wish the pen was a little bit more integrated with the background. Maybe I need to tweak the colors to make the yellow more orangey. But let's put it on Discord and see what y'all think. So to put it on Discord, really easy. Just click this plus button in the current challenge tab. Yeah, Darius, his name's Kakashi. Goes by Kashi though. People are like, what's his name? We're like, Kashi. And they're like, what's his name? Kashi. And we say, like the cereal, and they're like, oh, okay. Really, it's Kakashi, like the ninja. Alrighty. Discord, day 4. Orange Bandito says it's a cool post, 100% epic, without even seeing it. What do you think of the palette? I always forget if it's 2 L's or 2 T's. Palette. Oh, and I uploaded it before finishing my thought. I'll say I think I want to integrate more orange into the pen. All right, and we'll see what you all think. So I'm gonna pop out of here in just a couple minutes, and I will be back on Monday for day 5 of our challenge. Next week, we're gonna get a little more advanced. It's exciting, right? Oh, nice, I love this emoji, the pen. We're gonna get a little more advanced. We're gonna level up a little bit more, but I think you all have a good handle on basic Photoshop skills, so we're gonna do some cool stuff. Now, before I go, let's check out the schedule for the rest of the day, because just because it's Friday does not mean that Adobe Live is done. There's me. So if you scroll down below the video player on Adobe Live, and even if you're like in the live stream watching it, I'll jump into it. Pause that. If you scroll down, you can see the schedule for the rest of the day and even like the next day. So right after me, Paul's gonna be mixing vector and raster content. Ooh. If you don't know, a vector is basically the way that Illustrator works. They're almost infinitely scalable. They are smooth. That's how you can make like a billboard, like a 40-foot or 3,000-foot graphic. 3,000 foot, has that ever existed? I don't know. But make sure you stick around to learn how you can mix pixels and vectors. After that, Jason's going to be here for the audio masterclass. What is mastering? Very cool. Andrew's going to be here for the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. He's going to continue to bake in the kitchen. Very nice. Howard's going to be here for an XD masterclass. We have so many masterclasses today. That's awesome. Then Andrew and Nick are going to be back for office hours. So if you want to get a portfolio review, that is the place to go. Andrew will be here for the XD Daily Creative Challenge, and Kyle will be finishing out the day for some drawing. It's going to be really fun. Susan, you have a great weekend. Thank you. I hope you guys do well over the weekend. I hope you rest. I hope you stay safe. Let us know if you need anything, and feel free to join us on Discord. So with that said, I'm going to hop out of here. Hope you guys have a great weekend, like I said, and I will see you on Monday for day 5. Thanks, everybody.